Welcome into the Jordy Culotta Show. Wave your hand out there, baby!
Shout out to the show.
She puts the pinky into the nostrils. Man, look at that.
Healthy competition, there's nothing like it.
Y'all grow up. The line's wrapped around the stadium. Different strengths. I just lost a tooth.
It's going to be fun.
You know, we might have a story.
I love what you're doing.
Ogeron wants to take us fishing this afternoon.
Sharif, you play for the bad boys of the SEC, man. We don't apologize to anybody.
A lot of people are saying you're going to be wearing number 7.
I don't really know. I want to.
He look crazy, Bill. Good feet on the old man.
Definitely come back.
We'll be right back with the Jordy Culotta Show. Welcome in to a Monday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, built every day by our friend Rhett Bourgeois and RMB Builders. Check him out on Instagram, rmb-builders.com. Busy show coming at you today. We're going to talk to Jamar Cain, former LSU defensive line coach. As we found out over the weekend, coach is moving on to the Denver Broncos. Jamar Cain, I know this was a very, very difficult decision for him, as I spoke with him on Saturday. For a while. He'll be back over the next couple of weeks here. We're doing a crawfish boil.
Oh, we are? Yay. Just a goodbye crawfish boil?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
He's going to stop by here at 8:30 this morning, and we're going to talk to him about joining Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos. He is going to be a part of that staff just after 1 year in Baton Rouge. He sent out a simple yet pretty powerful message on Instagram on Saturday. As he said, thank you, Tiger Nation. Thank you, Coach Kelly. Thank you, LSU. Go Tigers with the tiger emoji. He'll stop by here at 8:30 this morning. I know it's a very busy morning for Coach Cain, so we very much appreciate his time. I know he wanted to come into studio, but we're just going to get him on the phone as he's got a lot of stuff kind of to close up with LSU, and he's got to get on a plane and get to Denver. And
he's out.
Oh, he's gone. He's got to get to he'll be.
How are we gonna have the boil for him?
Well, he's coming back over the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
But he's got to get on it. He's got to get to work this week.
Jeez. Just
Sean-
like that.
Sean
I
Quick
mean, can you
turnaround.
imagine your career?
Who said Sean Payton hated LSU?
Yeah. Who said Sean didn't hate LSU?
Yeah, right.
That's such a quick. I can't imagine that kind of that quick of a transition from like this job to an NFL job just like that.
Hey.
Well, there is a tie here for Coach Kane, and it is the pass rushing specialist for Denver went to Oklahoma.
Is it Brandon Jordan?
Benito? Is it one of their top players went to Oklahoma, and I know.
Oh, Nick Benito.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean there's a tie? Did you say there's a tie?
Yeah, Oklahoma's. He went to Oklahoma. You know, I mean, that's where Jamar Kane was.
Yeah.
And Denver's one of their best players on the defensive line.
Okay.
I mean, that's not why he got the job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I mean? I'm
that's
just saying he's
that's
got
the
some
connection.
familiar guys there.
Yeah.
That he knows, and he's great at his job. You know, I mean, I think the part that Kane will be missed most, obviously, besides on the field, is going to be in recruiting. You know, I mean, he's done a phenomenal job. You saw some of the, I believe, Jacoby and Guillory was speaking on Saturday, and he got emotional in speaking about Jamar Kane when the news came out. I mean, it was very sudden. It was Saturday, so it was really kind of fresh, the news hitting LSU's defensive line room and the team. But Guillory was obviously shaken by it. We'll talk to Coach Kane coming up here at 8:30 this morning. Katie is here. Good morning, Katie.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Stewie is here.
Good morning, Stewie.
We do have a text in to Dougie.
Text in.
Put him on the docket.
He is not.
He knows
He's not
this is his
confirmed.
day, right?
He's not confirmed. Yes, he should.
He knows.
He should.
He's
be
living
playing
that
games here,
carpool life
Dougie.
right now.
You know the deal.
He's trying to get kids out the door.
What time did you text?
Probably about 15 minutes.
3:54 a.m.
Yeah.
That was the first email I received from you today.
That's right.
I was like, oh yeah, he's on it today. It's a Monday.
You up?
it's an early Monday.
So we'll talk about some potential replacements for Jamar Kane as well. I know Bo Davis's name has popped up here. Davis, a LSU grad, has worked at LSU, worked at Alabama, worked at Texas. His name has been somebody that has come up.
Since Saturday.
Yep.
Wait,
And
where was Jamar before
Oklahoma.
LSU? Right before this? That's where he came
Yeah.
from before? And then before that?
Arizona State.
Okay.
Arizona State.
That's what I was thinking for some reason. Okay.
And then defensive line analyst Gerald Chapman, who jumped on at Colorado, who was he's taken over as the interim defensive line coach. In the meantime, as Kane takes off to Denver today, and they'll finish out spring practice. So heads up, we'll give you some names to watch out for. Bo Davis is something that has popped up here over the first portion of this becoming open, and he's Texas's defensive line coach right now. Todd Bates is another name who's Oklahoma's defensive coordinator. He's co-defensive coordinator, defensive tackles coach. He's another name that's popped up. So we'll pay attention to see how this shakes up over the weekend. LSU takes 2 of 3 from Arkansas after dropping game 1 in pretty dramatic fashion on Friday afternoon as that game was bumped up. Went into extra innings, tied 1 apiece, and then Arkansas smashes a grand slam to kind of run away with it. But then LSU responds, taking 2 of 3 from the Hogs over the weekend in very impressive fashion. Offensively, just kind of busting out.
How good is Dylan Cruz?
I mean,
Jeez. I
Tom, how
mean,
about
Lloyd's
that
about to
moment
be
for Tommy
dead.
Tanks?
Oh, goodness.
I mean, like the goosebumps, Coach. The whole place is chanting his name, and he hits a grand slam oppo. I mean, like that is like stuff like in the movies.
It really is.
I mean, it
really is.
one of those moments where you're like, that's one of the best moments I think I've ever seen at the box.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like for somebody to respond in a moment like that. I mean, I'm anxious to see what like Matuk and Jared Mitchell say about, that type of being able to do that. And that is so
that's
hard
weird.
to do, man. Like in baseball, to be able to respond in a moment when people are like expecting you to come through.
I'm watching it right now. It is just, it's wild. It will give you chills.
I mean, he smashes that ball, man. Tanks is
He's just as good as we thought
I
he
mean,
was.
like,
He
is who we
good
thought
for
he
him,
was.
man. You know, because the way that it started out, I mean, it was like when he was it the first at bat of the season
Where he got hurt.
where he gets to first base and
It
he
was.
jumps
Yes.
back and
Yeah.
It was
he
his first
separates his
at-bat.
shoulder.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
it was
was
like,
weird.
oh my god,
Another year of it.
this can't be happening. I mean, it's like this team's going to be cursed. But to see the way that he has come back, he was the SEC Player of the Week last week for his performance, and now here in the Arkansas series, that moment on Saturday of him stepping to the plate with the entire spot chanting his name and the bases juiced and him going yard that looks like a movie.
Let's not forget it was 0-2.
Yes, and
0-2.
0-2, that's right.
Like,
It was an 0-2
sitting
count.
on it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. The melt after that loss to Arkansas, though.
Oh wow.
The melt.
Oh, my goodness.
Man,
the
baseball
season was
fans are-
over.
are
Oh, they
different.
wanted Jay Johnson was fired.
Jay
Oh,
Johnson
yeah.
had to go.
Everybody was
Questioning
gone.
strategy.
Nobody could hit anymore. The bullpen's the same as we've seen
Can't
it
you-
for 10
I
years.
forgot LSU can't hit lefties.
Exactly.
Batting 333
They said
against
that
lefties.
too.
Somebody call Paul.
I mean, yes, exactly. I mean, it was like, this is the same thing we've seen since 04.
Throw
LSU's
games on 6 days rest. That's what you get.
I saw something. I was like, LSU's been the same team for 8 years.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They were they were dead serious with all that too.
Setting us
Man.
up for a huge letdown, boys. Don't get too fired up.
I mean, season's over.
Oh, dude, it was great. Tiger droppings was a great spot on
Yes.
Friday.
I'd love to see the replies to the LSU baseball tweet Friday.
Oh my god.
We're thinking about doing a segment over here on like doing a Tiger droppings just read off.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Those are the types of days where like you got to just
You could do that all day.
fire it up. Just read it, man.
That's an
Talking
entire
about
show.
therapy. I fell into the Reddit hole. I was telling Katie and Stewie. I've fallen into like this Reddit dark hole, man. Like for some reason my sleep schedule is just whacked. I mean, I'm like getting up at like 1:30 in the morning now.
Is that different? Than
No,
ever?
but I mean, like I am like so wide awake now at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And Reddit has got me just. like
That's a 1 a.m. kind of
magnet.
site.
It is.
It is. It's 100%
It
a
is.
1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
site.
You do anything you want on Reddit.
Yeah. It's free
I
fall.
mean,
No
like-
consequence.
Yeah, I mean, it
Put it
is
behind the
a
thread and go.
just
Yeah.
limitless highway. I mean, we can go
Goodness.
anywhere we want, 90 miles an hour.
Because nobody really knows who you are. You don't really have
It is.
an account with photo. Well, I mean, you can, I guess. But yeah, like you can hide.
Yeah, you can be the egg.
Yeah.
You know, you
And
just gotta
just
be
say whatever.
just here.
Yeah, you can be whatever.
I'm here for all the
Um,
conspiracies.
But yes,
Yeah.
like the melt on, like Tiger droppings on Friday was just a place of gutter and misery that I popped popcorn for. Really. It just,
I gotta fall.
I mean, just was like, got into it. What a Friday night.
I know, right?
I can't wait to read all the comments. How about Dr. Steve Caparato getting off the hook again? I mean, we got to move
mean-
the schedule around. Got to move games all around for the
rain.
rain.
Not
Yesterday
one.
was beautiful.
I don't want to
Like,
go hard on him,
a
but yeah, that
beautiful
It
was
was
day.
ridiculous.
beautiful. I mean, this meteorologist thing, man,
It's
Yeah.
tough.
tough. Tough for who?
Tough for him.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Telling people lies.
Pre-conference games are like makeup on a woman's face. Make stats go up and people here lose their minds, and we are all like, we going to Omaha. Like what?
they're still going to Omaha. I mean, like, they pummeled Arkansas.
Oh my
This
After
team has
Friday.
been lied to
I mean, like
since the
they
beginning of the
beat
year.
the ever living hell out of Arkansas.
I want to
after
know what Jay
Friday.
Johnson said.
I mean, like whatever happened in between Friday and Saturday, shoot them up with that every single time because I mean, like they outscored them. What I mean, like it was disgusting. I mean,
First game was game 2 was 12-2.
well, they almost run rolled them.
Yeah, it
in
was
the
12.
second
They
one.
did run rule in the first game.
Yeah, the second was 14-5.
And the second one was 14-5. So it's like, to give them a little hope of life, and then we'll
Right.
just
Take
it out
Friday
of them.
back to Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Tennessee coming up next Thursday. I will say this. Tyrann Mathieu texted me. I don't mean to name drop. But he texted me on Sunday, and he was like, I want to watch Paul Skeens pitch. When's it happen? Is it Thursday or Friday? And I said, the first game's on Thursday. He said, I'll be there. So I'm telling you, the place is
Nice.
going to be packed.
Okay,
come
let's announce
Thursday.
our winner then. Speaking
Okay,
of the
nice.
Tennessee game,
What did they win?
They won tickets to the Saturday game, 2 tickets to the Saturday game, plus a parking pass, plus 2 hats signed by Paul Maneri and Skip Burtman. Compliments of Red Stick Sports on the hats. Compliments of Hub International on the tickets and parking pass. And the winner is Tracy Tiller.
Oh, nice, Tracy.
And she will be tagged. I don't know if she's watching the show, but she'll be tagged in a post later today. And then she can contact us about collecting. So congrats to Tracy, and thanks. We had a ton of entries on this giveaway. So thank you to everybody for that. And thank you to Hub and Red Stick Sports.
Shout out to Red Stick Sports. Shout out to Hub International. Thank you for supplying us with this great giveaway. And congratulations to Tracy Tiller. You can claim your prize on social media. We'll get that to you. And everybody's going to be at the box this weekend. What a weekend at the box it'll be. Stewie, put it on the poll. Every time the weatherman in South Louisiana moves something, sunshine? I mean, it's a guarantee if they move something, if something is moved, then the rain ain't happening.
Right.
I mean, it's like, it's unreal how many times it happens.
It really is. There were some clouds moving around, so maybe
No
it
doubt.
rained somewhere.
No doubt. I
in
was
Baton
like,
Rouge.
oh, Cap, you might catch one.
Yeah.
Little afternoon shower, maybe.
Somebody got a little shower somewhere.
Yeah, but all in all,
Yeah.
to shake up the first SEC weekend in Baton Rouge for weather and then have it sunshining on Sunday was just it was just kind of funny.
Well, at least it was on a weekend and not during the week where they closed school for it. Could have been worse.
Yeah, I thought they'd wake up and close school on Monday just because of the rain on Saturday.
Exactly.
We got to scrub the streets.
Not
wild.
LSU. LSU will wait till 1 a.m. They'll hit you with the Jordy text. You up?
And tell you there's no class
No school
today.
tomorrow, you bum.
Bus isn't running.
It's 4 a.m. Sorry, I didn't see
Whoa.
the message. What happened?
The water just kind of moved by itself, right?
Ooh,
Aliens.
We haunted up in here. Aliens or ghosts?
Look. Yeah, that's
Haunted up in here. We got to move out.
We might have a friend.
If you're haunted, do you just move out of the house or do you try to?
what type of haunted are we?
Yeah.
Like
I
if
mean,
you're
are
haunted,
doors
haunted,
shutting
like-
behind me?
Yeah. Like you're in a haunted house. Your house is haunted that you're living in.
Yeah, I'm out.
Do you move out or do you exorcise it?
No.
You don't even try?
No.
Hell no.
You don't even get somebody to come in and tell you
Nope.
who it is or what
Nope.
it is?
Nope, nope,
Okay.
nope, nope, nope.
What does it take to get
Selling
you
as
out?
fast as possible, not telling anybody that it's haunted. Just buy. Here's the key. Enjoy.
Okay. What
Yeah.
what pushes you out? Like one door closing by itself, or do you have to like see a figure, or like is something worse than that? Like do
Probably
you have to
hearing something.
Yeah, I was about to say probably like hearing a voice or
I
like
don't know. Like seeing a curtain move would probably freak me out.
Mm-hmm.
get that you can't justify
Absolutely.
because
Or
you
like-
got a dog in there.
or like what if you're
so-
outside, look in the window, and you see a figure go across the
out.
window?
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
out.
yeah.
I'm way out. I'm not even going back in.
Come
Right.
get me.
Like, keep my stuff.
Some nice clothes in
Right.
there for you.
Right, I'm sizing
that's
up
tough.
anyway.
Have you ever experienced like a haunting that you know of, or seen or heard anything?
No, I'm not.
Not realistic.
Okay, all right.
Not realistic.
I always feel like I need to ask people that. I don't know why. I'm just always
I've
curious.
never had the true like.
Paranormal experience.
ghost?
Yeah.
know.
There's a
The water just.
Oh,
The water just moved again.
water is
All
messing
right,
with
your
me
ghost
now.
is mad now.
Water just
it's like
moved
I'm
again.
here,
Give me
damn
that,
it.
for God's sake.
Trying to show you I'm here.
So no, I've never really had a view.
No,
Well, if the ghost is here, sit down right there. We have a mic for you.
right? But I mean, there are people that like have really good stories
Yes.
about experiencing something, and I just always wonder, is that real or not? I don't believe in it, so.
And 23 minutes in, we finally get to the story that is the biggest of the weekend, and that is Kim Mulkey and the LSU women stamping their ticket to the Final Four. Going back to Dallas, you could tell that it meant something to Mulkey that it's in Texas. She mentioned it a couple of times in the postgame, but they just destroy Miami yesterday. And what was a really, and I mean this respectively, with all due respect, that was a terrible basketball game.
Yeah,
It was a rock fight. I mean, like, nobody could make a basket. Nobody could make a layup. I mean, even Mulkey said it, like, was it going into the fourth quarter or going into the third quarter? I think she was like, if I was watching at home, I'd turn it off. I mean, like, she was like, looked at the scoreboard. She was like, what is it? 38, 30. I'd turn this off.
That's so awesome.
I mean, it was
And the
like-
announcer was like, please
Yeah,
do not turn
ESPN's
it
like,
off.
I wouldn't turn it off.
Please don't turn it off. Keep
Turn
listening.
it
We're
off.
coming
I
back
mean, you
after
just
the
keep
break.
it on and go in another room. You don't want to watch. But the 54-42 drubbing yesterday of Miami was enough for LSU to get back to the Final Four since making it 5 straight times from 2004 through 2008. So for the first time in a long time, LSU is going back, as LSU will be in the field in Dallas for the first time in 15 years. Kim Mulkey, in just year 2, was able to stamp LSU's ticket to the Final Four, as Angel Reese made history yet again as she logged her 32nd double-double of the season, which is an SEC SEC single-season record. She finished with 13 and 18 yesterday. She also had 4 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocked shots for LSU, who moved on. And look, LSU was struggling. Miami was struggling. Nobody could make a basket, but a game of struggles turned into a game of finally breaking through for LSU in the second half, when they started to knock down shots and they started to really get out and run and kind of flex on Miami and able to move on. And for the first time in a long time, like we said, LSU going back to the Final Four. And like I was telling Kelly this yesterday as we were watching it kind of wrap up, don't ever let anybody tell you coaching doesn't matter, right? Like, don't ever let anybody tell you or try to justify that, well, you could get away with this coach, or maybe not pay as much for this coach and you can get by. It just doesn't work like that. And Kim Mulkey is another example of it. There's been examples here over the past couple of years that have stood out. We mentioned Joe Brady with LSU football. I mean, don't let them tell you coaching doesn't matter, right? I mean, Joe Burrow was here in 2018. He was here in 2019. One of the biggest differences that Joe Burrow in that season is that Joe Brady was here, a coach, right? Kim Mulkey, LSU's women's basketball program, was in the graveyard when she took over. They were giving away tickets, and nobody was showing up. And now in year 2, nobody had them going to the Final Four a month ago, 2 months ago. Summer going in. What were they, preseason 22, 23?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, and now,
wild.
I mean, for whatever reason, I guess America or the college basketball fan base dislikes Mulkey for some reason. They don't like her.
Well, she's a lot if she's not your coach. I mean, I will say that. Just
That
coming
fit on
from
Friday
somewhere
was
else.
bold.
With the feathers on
That
it.
was.
You're right.
How do you take?
I don't know.
If I'm in a huddle, and I mean, because she's. I mean, like, you've seen her, some of the fire. I mean, she looked at the bench the other day, and I mean, she was like, somebody's got to have some guts.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, she does that with pink feathers flaring off of her shoulders. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Coach.
I'm like, I mean, if I'm in the huddle and she's like, if the ball touches the elbow and we don't cut hard to the basket, your ass is coming to the bench. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I can't take you serious right
And the
now.
feathers are just like,
Yeah, like,
Coach, I got a feather.
Yeah.
You get one in your nose.
Bouncing. I mean, the feathers are just like springing around. I mean, from those feathers, it looked like you might have lost one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She
they
might
were
be on the
flying
clipboard,
everywhere.
like, get this feather out of here. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, how do you?
Oh my god.
You know, just I love her, man.
Yeah.
You know, hey, come on now.
That one was a lot. That was
That
a lot.
was. I thought even for the Elite Eight,
Yeah.
they were kind of like, Friday was so much.
Yes.
Like Sunday, let's make her look like a CEO.
Yes.
Like let's put her in like a serious, like, just make her look normal
Yeah,
again.
it was still sequins, but it was the most normal
compared-
looking sequence
Yes.
you could
Yeah,
get.
like-
compared to what she
In
had.
comparison's sake.
It was a lot.
It looked like she had like shoulder pads on almost.
I mean, the feathers, coach.
They
Yeah.
were just everywhere.
There was
So,
a lot going on.
I mean, people at the Spanish Town Ball would be like, you mind if I take a picture?
Exactly.
I mean, that's great.
Can I have that?
Yeah, right. I mean, that's a fantastic outfit. It was a lot.
Yeah, that was different.
But, you know, either
the
way,
win.
they prevail.
A win is
They
a win.
did, yeah.
Um,
But you know people were
Coach,
going hard at her.
How
for
about the
that.
girl from Utah airballing the
Oh
free
my
throw?
gosh,
Oh my
dude.
goodness!
I felt so bad for her. She averaged 18 points a game.
And she shot 75% from the line.
I mean,
that's when you know the
I,
moment's too
I didn't see
big.
it.
Katie,
Oh no.
Katie,
Like,
it was
full airball down 64,
LSU's
63.
down one.
No, they were Utah.
No,
was
yeah,
down.
I mean, yeah, Utah's down one. Inside of 10 seconds?
yes.
Angel Reese's 5th foul? No,
Yes.
Angel Reese fouled out on the because she got the rebound. LSU caught a break in that game.
They did.
Bro.
They did a
huge
couple of
break.
them, like in the
A
last 10
huge
seconds.
break at the end of that game.
Yeah, I missed the air
But
ball.
they foul. What's this girl's name?
I had to find her.
Oh, that's
And they
sad.
give her the front end of a 2-shot foul. And she doesn't even hit the net. Like she airballs it. Like I don't mean to laugh because they
Jenna
showed
Johnson
her,
was her name. Jenna Johnson.
Can you find it? Can you
Jenna
pull
Johnson.
it up? Can we play it?
That was her.
Sounds like a Reddit screen name, Coach.
I kind of remember it. Because
He's all in Reddit now.
the only reason I remember it.
It was so because then they showed the shot of her mom.
Oh no.
Her mom's like breaking down. Let me tell you, man, if that was my kid, I would be the same way. Because that's a moment that will haunt Jenna Johnson for the rest of her life.
Poor Jenna Johnson.
I mean, it will haunt that. She will think about that. I'm telling you, she will think about that. She missed it so bad on the first one. I was surprised she drew iron on the second one.
Right. That's what I was saying.
I mean, like she almost made it. She almost made the second one.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and credit her for that because she missed it so bad on the first one. Did you see Mulkey trying to call timeout?
Yes.
She was thinking like, I'm about to ice this chick. I'm about to ice her even more.
She's telling all
yeah,
the
she was
players,
like,
like,
timeout. She was,
like, and she's like hitting those
dead,
like
yeah.
shoulders of that sweater.
yeah, she was hitting the flare.
It was hilarious. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
It was unreal.
Oh,
man.
no.
I mean, it was amazing.
For some reason I knew she was gonna miss though. The way she stepped up to the line.
You could see it in her eyes.
She was so nervous.
But then, like, when they showed her afterwards, like, they went immediately to her as soon as she
On the
let it
bench.
go. And, I mean, she was just like...
She was like-
I mean, her knees were knocking. I'm telling you.
You have it? Is that it?
Her
Let's
knee,
see it.
her
Oh,
knees were... She was
no.
shaking, bro.
And like when she misses, you can see her face like,
Oh, my God.
Okay.
I told y'all. I didn't want the ball to start off with.
Oh, no, that's like me out there.
Oh, no. I mean, like, dude, on the second... LSU caught a break right there.
right there. I thought that was a foul. I thought that was a foul too. After
I
that.
mean, how did she do? Like, is she an okay player? Other than
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Averaged
What
17 points a
happened?
game.
17 a game.
And she was shooting
happened?
75
What do you
from the
mean what
line.
happened? She
Just
choked.
then, I know.
gagged in the
Oh
moment.
man.
I mean, she looked at the clock and saw we're down one inside of 10 seconds.
over.
This is something I did in my driveway when I was a kid.
Wait,
That
did you see
sucks.
when at like right after this happened, they take her out the game,
Yes.
put her on the bench, and the first thing the camera does is pan to her
of
and
course.
zoom.
Did you see him show her mom?
No, I didn't
Oh
see her
my
mom,
God!
but I know
think
she
they showed
was.
her mom in the crowd. I mean, her mom is like, I mean, her mom is like
Goodness.
sucking back, which I
would have been the same way,
Yeah.
man.
especially if my kid was in that situation, like a ticket to the Final Four on the line,
Oh,
or
that's so
Elite Eight,
bad.
and she missed like that.
Yeah.
And you get to play number 8 seeded Miami.
Damn, that's tough.
I mean,
Goodness,
it was tough.
It was a
man.
tough scene, and they put her right back in the game. Like they took her out. She's crying on the bench, and they put her right back in. Like,
What
go
do you
make some
do?
shots.
Fowler.
I mean, what do you do, right? Oh my
She's
god.
freaking out on the bench.
Ice this chick.
She's like,
Ice her.
Mulkey was almost like at half court,
Yeah,
trying
she
to call the
was. I mean,
timeout.
she was jumping, man.
Like,
In the feathers.
the announcers were like, Kim Mulkey was almost at half court just now. Like, she's losing it.
I mean, dude, it was from a competitive standpoint, it was your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was your worst nightmare. I mean, it was.
That's
it was
tough.
It was tough,
Man.
It was tough.
Like, oof.
Yikes.
I couldn't imagine like the come down from all of this. Like
Oh, man.
today,
Like laying in bed that night for that
yes.
girl,
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
man.
Hope she has somebody
This
to
is
lay
so
with.
thinking
sad.
back,
Like,
Thinking back.
just like, dude,
You're not sleeping.
no,
probably.
she's still not sleeping. No
Yeah.
shit.
Or if you are, you're
I'm telling
waking up
you,
and that's what's on
That's
your
the
mind.
type of stuff that'll wake you up in the middle
Yeah.
of the sleep.
Yeah.
Like she'll have a
That's
dream
tough.
like I'm at the free throw line,
Mm-hmm.
and they hand her the ball, and she'll probably, you know, like wake up like cold sweat, like
Yeah.
oh my god, what happened? I was back at the free throw line in Greenville, South Carolina. I was dreaming that the game was on the line, and I had a chance to win it. No, Jenna, That happened.
Oh man.
That really happened in your life, and you airballed it. I mean, you
Like the people are on,
you
people
barely
are
hit
on
the
her-
net.
People are on her Twitter like responding to like old tweets about
No.
this. Yes.
Like being mean to her.
Yes. Katie, I'm reading
Aw,
a tweet
man.
from this is March 6th, and somebody responded to it March 24th.
Oh God.
I like you. You're a very good player, but damn, really? Airball? Like, come on. I think that's the first in history.
Like that's it. You just gotta talk to him.
Like,
Like you just go respond to whatever.
find her Twitter right
Oh
now.
my gosh, poor thing. I hope she doesn't read that, but you know she is.
Jeff and Kenner has a good point too. Alexis Morris, on the contrary, stepped up on the other side after a game where she was struggling
Yes.
from the field. Like, I mean, like, what is going on with Alexis Morris type of struggle? Steps up to the free throw line and buries ice cold free throws that just really kind of iced the game for LSU. It was seniors type stuff. man.
And the
I mean,
three
it was-
before that.
Yeah, that three before that was
Because
huge,
the
too.
announcers were like, Alexis Morris hasn't gotten
right
going
when she
yet.
said it.
And right when she
I
said
mean,
it, she
right when
crosses
she
over
said
the
it,
shoot.
bang!
I was like, wow.
That was a good moment for that announcer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good moment. But LSU rolls. Incredible to think about what Angel Reese here has accomplished in her one season at LSU. As we mentioned, her 32nd double-double yesterday. And that's another thing. Kelly and I were talking about the game and watching the game. I was like, what a luxury that is for a coach to know that you've got a double-double locked in to one of your starting five. Like, no matter what happens tonight, whether we win or whether we lose, whether we compete, whether we don't, I know that I'm getting a double-double from one of my starting five players. I mean, the consistency that Reese has played here in just this one season is stuff that, you know, we will talk about her for a long time.
I hope so.
Oh man, don't worry about
I'm
it.
starting to think people discount like how hard it is to get a rebound
They do.
and how hard it is to get an offensive rebound. Because I had to tell some of my friends yesterday, like, because they were saying it looks however it looks, but it's like, you got to realize, like,
Yeah.
she's getting these rebounds on her own. Like, she's
Right.
putting in all this work herself.
Yeah.
Like, that ain't easy. I played basketball before. It ain't easy getting offensive boards
Oh
and
my
putting them back up
Right.
Man.
and
I
getting
mean,
10
just
of them
the
a game.
Yeah.
Effort,
She makes
the
it look easy, though.
energy. I mean, that just really you burn so much to be able to keep that type of stamina up throughout the game is really something that you discount. I mean, that takes a lot out of you to jump and try and move around people and bounce and, you know, tip the ball up and pass it and then run back to the other side and, you know, play offense. I mean, she's playing on both sides of the ball. I mean, that sequence yesterday where she lost her shoe and she defended, ran over, put her shoe on, caught the ball on the post, makes a drop step, puts her shoulder into the defender, goes up, nearly makes the layup, gets fouled, goes to the free throw line,
Hits the free throw.
and hits the free throws. I mean, it's tough to find a player in women's college basketball that you can count on like that on both ends, that when you need a play, she's going to give it to you. She's going to make it.
Yeah, she
And
is.
It's just it's been so fun to watch her play. It's been fun to watch this team play. You know, I mean, I think it's a lot more than Angel Reese too. I know that we talk about Angel Reese a lot here on this show, but you know, I mean, obviously Alexis Morris was huge yesterday, but some other players I thought really played well.
LaDeja Williams.
Yeah.
Well, it-
Going off Saturday, like when Angel Reese wasn't,
Yeah.
that was big.
And I really thought that Kateri Poole yesterday
Yeah.
and on Friday hit some huge shots.
Yeah,
She's
she
been
really
so
has showed
steady.
up.
So steady, so solid, and really, I learned over the weekend she was kind of the main reason why Angel Reese is here.
I know. They talked about that during the game yesterday.
I didn't really know that.
I didn't either.
And then you kind of see their interaction on the floor, and you can tell that they're tight,
But yeah, LSU wasn't even on Angel's radar, they said.
right? Until Kateri
Yeah.
Poole was the one that kind of
Coach
brought it up.
Wilkie, you know, there's a girl from Maryland that's pretty good.
Huh? Right, right.
She's pretty good. She gets some rebounds.
So LSU moving on, and this will be fun, man. Obviously, this is going to be fun to watch LSU here as they continue this run in year 2 of Kim Mulkey, which is just incredible to think about, man.
It really is.
It just
LSU with the winner of South Carolina and Maryland.
no, they'll play them in the championship, right? They'll play they'll play Iowa.
Friday, right?
No, I was on the other side of the bracket. I'm
Oh,
looking
are
at
they?
it right now,
Are they?
yeah.
Are they?
Wait, who are they playing Friday then?
It's to be determined.
But who is it between?
Ohio State and Virginia Tech,
Okay.
and South Carolina and Maryland.
Man, what if we end up playing South Carolina?
Iowa's tough. That girl from
Yeah,
Iowa
Iowa's tough.
just
Yeah,
put
what's her
up
name?
42 last night. Caitlin Clark.
Oh, Caitlin.
She had a
Yeah.
triple-double.
Yeah.
I
Like
think she had a
42, 10, and 10,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, everybody's talking about her.
But Iowa can
She's
shoot
amazing.
it. They're like mainly guard team. I kind of watched a little bit. Mm-hmm. They have like one big, LSU matches up well with that.
Do y'all believe the rumors that Angel's dating NBA?
NBA young boy.
Uh-huh.
The only reason I would say no right now is because he's still on house arrest. Like, he's still in Utah. Like,
yeah.
he lives in Utah. She
Yeah.
lives in Louisiana, and he can't leave. Like, he can't come to Louisiana.
Okay.
So
Good for her brand, though.
yeah,
it is
great
really
for
good
her
for her brand. She's denying it, but it is good for her brand. They did an Instagram
Even-
live together, though.
Even the fact that there's a rumor is good.
Yeah,
for
I
her.
know,
Yeah,
right? It's pretty
great
cool.
for her. And then he did say in his song he had a new girl from LSU. So,
That's right. And they did an Instagram live together. So, I mean,
could be a thing.
it
You
could
never
be a
know.
thing.
But hey, any publicity is good publicity.
I know.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Remember Katie's Restaurant down in New Orleans? Our friends over at Katie's are located on Iberville Street. You can get in touch with them at katiesinmidcity.com. katiesinmidcity.com if you're looking for a ice cold beer, if you're looking for a menu selection that is fantastic, and you can choose from a great selected items, some New Orleans favorites, some St. Louis style pizza. Check out Katie's in Mid-City, katiesinmidcity.com, katiesinmidcity.com. We'll be back with more of the show right after this, built every day by RMB Builders. Donaldsonville Glass and Body, the trusted name in frame, body, and automotive paint repair since 1977. They have served their customers for over 45 years. You can find them online at dgbauto.com or stop in and see them Railroad Avenue and Division Street out in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Look, they can help you with your insurance claims. They can make the repair process as stress-free as possible. I'm speaking from experience here. I've got numerous windshields, body repair, all done by Kenny and the crew over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. They are, without question, the most well-equipped shop in the area. Stop in and see them today. Shop them online, dgbauto.com, or stop in and see the crew over in Division Street in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Hey fellas, it's Jordy Culotta for my friends over at Men's Total Health. Guys, do you suffer from fatigue, decreased libido, erectile dysfunction, weight gain or loss of muscle mass, signs of depression, anxiety, hair loss, mental fog, general loss of interest? Then you might be suffering from low testosterone. Go see my friend Mike Roach and his great team over at Men's Total Health, over in Metairie at menstotalhealth.net online. And stop in and see how they can change your life today. A simple shot and some knowledge from Mike Roach can get you back up, moving with your energy, get your sex drive back, build your muscle mass, make you feel young again. All online, menstotalhealth.net. Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon and get it done. Corrects done. Personal injury done. Workers' comp done. Truck wrecks done. Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon and get it done.
Hey Baton Rouge, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, whether you need to fill up your vehicle or your belly, stop by Go-Mart and On The Go Deli. Go-Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you might need on your trip. So stop by Go-Mart at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left, and visit Tom and Wright Granning and their awesome team at Go-Mart.
Are you looking for sound financial advice? Then get in touch with Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. You can call him today at 225-261-8262 or email him daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. If you're planning for retirement, saving for college, for children or grandchildren, or just looking for sound investment opportunities, get in touch with Daniel today, 225-261-8262, located on Magnolia Square Drive in Central. Daniel Newman of Edward Jones.
Don't let the name fool you. Men's Total Health has offerings for the ladies, too. Guys, is your wife or partner suffering from urinary incontinence, low sexual desire, or pain during sex? Then the O shot might be for her. Don't let it scare you. It's totally natural. It's PRP. And Mike Roach and the crew at Men's Total Health will make you as comfortable as you can be. Contact me for more information, Katie at JordyCulottaShow.com, and I'm happy to tell you everything that Men's Total Health has to offer for the ladies.
Fourier Insurance Agency, established in 1946, locally can help you with any of your home, auto, commercial, contractors, life and health insurance today. Give them a call, 225-383-0682, or log online to FourierAgency.com.
Hey, she's on her way up.
Hey, G, I got you something.
Hey, Coach. What do you think? Is this too much?
If you look good, you play good.
All right, then. Let's get it done.
All right, welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show. As daily, we are brought to you by a new sponsor here. Proud to welcome aboard our friends over at Premier South Roofing and Sheet Metal. Our friends over at Premier South and Roofing and Sheet Metal, Louisiana's premier roofing experts. Look, they are the top dogs in the business. I know that this is a very competitive space in an industry that is loaded with people and loaded with competition, and everybody is chasing Premier, right? I believe RJ and his crew have really kind of set the model for a lot of people to strive and go after. But Premier is really kind of outrunning a race by itself. They've really been able to build a book of business that is just incredible. And Premier wants to remind you that if your roof is over 8 years old, there's a good chance that your pipes need maintenance. Call Premier South today and schedule a free inspection just to be on the safe side. So if your roof is over 8 years old, you qualify for a free inspection over at Premier South. Tell them you heard it here on the Culotta Show. And if you need a repair or a replacement, you can log on. And if you're in Baton Rouge, you're in New Orleans, you're in Lafayette, you're on the North Shore, you're in Daphne, Alabama now, where they're expanding.
Dang.
Yes, they just opened up in Daphne, Alabama. You can find out more information on Premier South at premiersouthla.com. Premiersouthla.com is the website, and you can find out more about residential roofing, commercial roofing, metal roofing. You need roof repair, you need roof maintenance, even any questions that you may have on gutters and awnings. They can get the information to you over at Premier South Roofing and Sheet Metal. Like we said, they have set the pace for the industry in roofing. They are recognized as a top 50 roofer in the country, which is incredible. You can learn more about them at premiersouthla.com. And remember, and tell them that you heard it here on the Culotta Show. If your roof's over 8 years old, especially down here in South Louisiana, you need to get that checked out. Odds are a $500 repair a year from now will be a $5,000 problem. So you want to get somebody out there and check it out. Get in touch with our friends over at Premier South at premiersouthla.com. Premiersouthla.com is where you can find them. And appreciate the crew for being aboard here with us over at the Culotta Show, and looking forward to telling you more about them and how they can help you out today. Remember, we put it up on the poll, and get over to the Southern Eye Center poll question of the first hour. Every time the game is moved due to weather, is it always sun shining? Can't you just go ahead and guarantee that if anything is moved, delayed, suspended, school, games, whatever it may be, you can pretty much guarantee that it might be the best day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sunday was beautiful.
It really was.
Well, it was a little humid.
It was warm.
A little hot. A little
Windy
hot.
from that rain coming in.
Wasn't bad.
A little
Wasn't
hot.
bad.
A little hot.
I will say that Kelly and I went to the beach volleyball game on Saturday night.
Oh, cool.
Which I thought was
like LSU beach volleyball?
LSU beach volleyball. They were playing University of Washington on Saturday night. They ended up playing Florida State on Sunday. I don't know how the ladies did. They took care of Washington on Saturday night. But I will say that the atmosphere out at the LSU Sand Volleyball Stadium, the old tennis stadium on campus, it's awesome, man. They play music the entire time.
Really?
And then there's like this little kind of like burn, like there's like this little like, not like a hill, but almost like this little like sitting area that you can sit in the grass and just kind of like, almost like watch behind the match.
Yeah.
And then there's like, kind of like theater style seating up above the playing surface where you can watch. It's a great place, free entry.
Really?
Yeah, it's free
Do
to
they
get in.
have like concessions?
They got concessions. They were giving away crawfish.
What?
On Saturday night for people that were watching.
Do they have beer?
They had beer.
Oh, cool.
They had beer.
Sounding better and better.
LSU beach volleyball is pretty good too.
It was.
Yeah, the team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
pretty good.
I mean, they're a top 5 team, I believe.
Yeah, I want to say they made it to like the nationals or however they do.
Yeah, they've been really good. Russell, the coach over there, he came from a place that really understood, that sport. So I mean, like they've been pretty good like since day one.
Yeah,
I mean they've kind of brought it aboard and been competitive really early on. So
does LSU
Is
not?
Brett Favre's daughter playing?
No, and we looked for her.
Does LSU not
We
have
looked
a
for her in the
regular volleyball
program,
team?
and then I was looking for him.
Yeah.
They don't have a regular volleyball team. It's just beach volleyball now.
Absolutely, they have a regular volleyball team, like an indoor volleyball team.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
LSU?
Got to, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, look, I don't.
Absolutely.
That'd be weird to have
Absolutely.
beach and not regular, right?
100%.
Does she play beach or regular, or do you play both?
No, there is a specific beach team and there's a specific
Can you
indoor
play both?
volleyball team. No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
So does his daughter play beach or regular?
I believe she's a beach player.
I thought so,
I thought she
too.
was, but she wasn't on the roster, so she
Oh,
may be an indoor
okay.
player.
Okay.
She may be an indoor.
Okay.
She's got to be an indoor player because he stole all the money to build the
That's
indoor
right.
arena.
The damn facility. How
Yeah,
could we
right.
forget?
I mean, it'd have been much easier if she was a sand player.
That's right.
I mean,
Sand don't cost that much.
I mean, Brett could have just stole some beach sand.
She is not on the regular volleyball team.
Okay.
Looking at
Oh,
the
she's
roster.
not on either?
Maybe
Maybe
she's
they
gone.
kicked her out. Or maybe she just quietly dismissed herself in the midst of all this drama.
Or maybe she's under an alias because it's bringing a lot of attention.
It would bring a lot of attention, right?
I would think so.
Has to.
I would think so.
I mean, they
Especially
brought up a lot of attention to
especially
their
if he
high
showed
school.
up.
Yes.
I mean, that's why I was looking around to see if
Brett, where are
Brett
you?
the sideshow was here.
Yeah, he's got to be laying low right now, right?
Knowing Brett,
middle
he's
of a
probably
lawsuit.
not.
That's true. He is just openly suing people.
Somewhere in the middle of Mississippi.
Trying to
Exactly.
bankrupt him.
Hey, ladies, y'all want some pictures of what?
We've already all seen it, Brett.
With the camo Crocs.
Ugh. His Wrangler's on. And his
She's
copper
not. She is
fit.
not on the roster
That's
at all.
weird.
Either roster.
I swear she was on the team.
She was during
Yeah, we've talked
before the
about
season.
Yeah, no,
this
it was a
before.
big. It was a big deal.
Yeah. That's.
It was a big
I
deal.
mean, did she graduate?
I was told her she had to
Maybe
bounce.
she just graduated.
Right. Unless she's a stud.
Yeah.
I
Brett.
mean, she
Hey,
might
Brett.
be a little too much than we need to deal with.
We loved you during
Yeah.
your playing career, but your daughter has to go.
Brett, are you going to donate to the program?
How
Already
much?
did.
I don't know. Who's your state rep?
We called John Bale.
Let me text
Is
the
he or she
governor.
crooked? Will it matter that I'm Brett Favre? Did we steal $10 million from the state?
I think maybe she graduated, honestly.
We just got the text back from DT9. He's in. We'll be back and have Doug Thompson
Okay.
next year on the Jordy Culotta Show. We'll talk some LSU baseball. Tigers roll over the weekend. And remember, we're talking to Jamar Kane, former LSU defensive line coach, as the coach is headed to Denver. Sean Payton continuing to hate LSU. Coming down here and trying to make the program weaker. We'll see what Coach Kane has to say about joining the Broncos coming up at 8:30. Doug Thompson next here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Right back. We'll be right back.
Hey Baton Rouge, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, whether you need to fill up your vehicle or your belly, stop by Go-Mart and On The Go Deli. Go-Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you might need on your trip. So stop by Go-Mart at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left, and visit Tom and Wright Granning and their awesome team at Go-Mart.
Are you looking for sound financial advice? Then get in touch with Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. You can call him today at 225-261-8262 or email him daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. If you're planning for retirement, saving for college for children or grandchildren, or just looking for sound investment opportunities, get in touch with Daniel today, 225-261-8262, located on Magnolia Square Drive in Central. Daniel Newman of Edward Jones.
Don't let the name fool you. Men's Total Health has offerings for the ladies, too. Guys, is your wife or partner suffering from urinary incontinence, low sexual desire, or pain during sex? Then the O shot might be for her. Don't let it scare you. It's totally natural. It's PRP. And Mike Roach and the crew at Men's Total Health will make you as comfortable as you can be. Contact me for more information, Katie at jordyculotta.show.com, and I'm happy to tell you everything that Men's Total Health has to offer for the ladies.
Fourier Insurance Agency, established in 1946, locally can help you with any of your home, auto, commercial, contractors, life and health insurance today. Give them a call, 225-383-0682, or log online to FourierAgency.com.
Hey.
All right, welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show. Let's get into with our next guest is LSU baseball. Stays hot over the weekend as the Tigers take 2 of 3 from Arkansas. People were panicked after the Thursday night game or the Friday day game in which the Tigers went to extra innings with the Hogs. Arkansas was able to prevail and take that one away from LSU. And then LSU absolutely pummeled Arkansas the following 2 games. Doug Thompson, who is a part of the LSU Sports Radio Network and a great friend of our show, is with us weekly here. He's back with us after a little bit of daddy duty this morning and dropping off the kids to school and head to a hard day's work. We catch up with DT9 Tigers, where you can find him on Twitter, the former All-American Doug Thompson. Dougie, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, JC. How you guys doing on this Monday morning?
Doing all right. Thank you, as always, for your time, buddy. All right, tell me about let's just start. Recap the weekend for me. Throw a little bit of Friday in there, and then obviously Saturday was super impressive. What'd you see from the Tigers?
Yeah, well, Friday nights the margin for error is greater than even Saturdays and Sundays in the SEC. You've got some of the best pitchers in the country out there on the mound, and you just can't make many mistakes. And not that really LSU defensively made any mistakes. I mean, Paul Skeens gave up 1-2, 1-2 or 0-2. I can't remember which one, but a fastball inner third, kind of a topspin double down the line. It was a great pitch. And, it was hard to tell whether he was flustered or just really pissed off. But the next pitch, he threw a wild pitch and a sac fly scores that run. But, there are multiple opportunities throughout the game for LSU to score. And they just weren't able to, mainly because 2 of the top 10 pitchers in the SEC, literally, statistically speaking, at least by ERA, were on the mound. And sometimes, in this great sport of baseball, when the other pitchers go out there and they have a good night, it doesn't matter who you're playing because great pitching is the great equalizer. Coach Bertman always used to remind us that no matter who was the opponent, McNeese or Auburn, he would say, don't forget, if their guy tonight goes out there and he has his good stuff, it's going to be a battle no matter who it is. So we've got to play play to win every night. So that's really what happened. I'm not trying to make excuses. Yeah. I mean, goodness, it was 1-1 through the ninth. If you love baseball, there's simply just not a much better game to watch on that Friday night than that one. Paul Skeens, of course, continues his dominance with another, 11 strikeouts. He's, I'll tell you, this guy it's off the charts. I mean, he is well on pace to track down 202 strikeouts with Ben McDonald. Of course, he'd have to get around 130 innings pitched this year, 120 maybe even at the rate he's going. I'll tell you, I went and talked to Todd Polites about halfway through the game when he had another 8 or 9 strikeouts, starting to think about things like that. And I found out that the national record's 230-something by a dude at Hawaii back in 1974. He threw 170-plus innings and had 230-plus strikeouts. Well, Ben is second most all-time. He's 202 strikeouts. That's an SEC record, an old SEC record at this point. And he's the greatest to ever do it here. But when you look at Skeens, Ben that year was at 5+ strikeouts per 9 inning. The year he struck out 202. Jordy, right now, Skeens is over 17 strikeouts per 9 inning.
Good.
Just to put that in perspective. Yeah, we've never quite seen anything like this. And, I've been dabbling around it since the beginning, watching this kid and trying to be very careful with my words. But at this point, I am absolutely convinced that if Paul Skeens were to put on a major league uniform tomorrow night, like literally in 24 hours, and show up at some major league spring training site or ballpark, that he would be one of those top end starters for any rotation in the big leagues. I mean, his not last start, I haven't really found out the numbers yet from that, but the start before that, he threw 65 fastballs that averaged 98.8 miles an hour.
Goodness
so it's just crazy. It's off the charts. I can't wait till Thursday. It's like I'm counting down the clock to go watch this guy pitch because it's truly dominant. If you've got kids, if you've got a young pitcher that has dreams of pitching for the Tigers one day, make sure you get to Alec Box Stadium soon to watch Paul Skeens pitch because it's special.
What do you tell your kids that they're watching in Dylan Cruz?
he's the greatest ever. I mean, at this point, I think it's safe to say that we've never seen anything like this. And goodness, Todd Walker and Eddie Furness and all the other greats. I mean, absolutely no disrespect to any of them. I hold the program and those legends with the greatest esteem and honor, Ben McDonald and all the others. And I do not mean to slight anyone. But Dylan Cruz he's just unlike anything that this program and honestly maybe even college baseball's ever seen. Yeah. He hits the ball to all parks with power. He runs, he throws, he catches. It's just bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre, the things that he's doing. How about leading the country in doubles and hits and multiple other categories, but still having 26 walks on the year? So a walk is not an at-bat. It's not a plate appearance. You don't get a chance to hit a double in the walk, and he's still leading the country and just about everything. The Pittsburgh Pirates have a tough decision. And that first pick is always a tough decision, of course. Mm-hmm. But something tells me, Jordy, that the purple and gold are going to take those first 2 picks in the draft this year. And I don't even think it's close.
Wow. Doug Thompson joining us from the LSU Sports Radio Network. Tennessee will be in town on Thursday for the next SEC series as Arkansas was here over the weekend. Doug, you have seen just tremendous atmospheres at both the old box and at the new box. I thought what Tommy Tank stepped into on Saturday with the crowd chanting his name, the bases are juiced.
Oh, I love that. I love that that's starting up because, I haven't heard that since Eddie. Mm-hmm. Back in 1998, where the whole box is, Eddie. I know all those old schoolers are picking up what I'm putting down right now because I have the chills talking about it. It used to be awesome. Jordy, yeah. I know you remember that as well. Absolutely. But if this box starts up with the Tommy, it's going to be pretty cool.
But Doug, for him to respond the way that he did in that moment and hit a opposite field grand slam, I mean, you've been around so much. Baseball's got to be one of the toughest sports to react in the moment of expectation, right? I mean, like a football player can make a big run or catch a big pass, or a basketball player can hit a dunk. I mean, for a baseball player to make a play in that moment is so difficult to do.
Yeah, the great ones are born for it, though. The great ones thrive on it. I mean, what do you expect from this guy? He's got a 12-inch tattoo of a tiger on his forearm. And he's got 6 gold chains around his neck. I mean, like if you give that guy a little bit more juice, obviously he's capable of doing great things. Look, it's just a tremendous lineup. The pitching staff is starting to take form. Poor Ty Floyd and Garrett Edwards and all these other kids who throw the ball 95 miles an hour. 2, 3, 4 years ago, that's the kids everybody's coming to the ballpark to root for on Friday night. But now it's just a whole different ball game. Look, I mean, if you want to talk about concerns, if that was one of your questions, obviously the back end of that bullpen is the question. Like, what are we going to do? Who's going to be what? And I think that Jay Johnson's still trying to figure that out with the personnel that he has.
What did you see from the pitching on Saturday?
I thought everybody pitched well. I didn't even see game 2. I was trying to listen to bits and pieces of it. But I only was there for the game with Ty Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he pitched well. They all pitched well. I mean, they win 12-2, right? Yeah. That was the score?
Mm-hmm.
The first game?
Yep, run ruled him in the first and nearly run ruled him in the second.
Yeah, so really nobody came in. But what I did see is Garrett Edwards come in and strike out the final 2 batters in the 7th inning, but with authority. Like 96 a couple times, a nice breaking ball. Garrett Edwards, a big dude, 6'5", 6'4". I mean, so Garrett Edwards, his last 3 or 4 outings for me have me thinking, what about Garrett Edwards in those big moments in the 8th and 9th? And I obviously. I think that Jay Johnson's starting to see the same thing and think the same thing. It's been pretty obvious. He's been pretty lights out, I'd say, his last 3 or 4 outings.
What do you take away from Christian Little on Friday?
Every pitcher's going to have 2 bad outings in a row. And I was certainly one of those guys. And you sure do hope that nobody gives up on you. I've been there. And I'm sure Christian Little hopes that they're not going to give up on him. And I don't think they will. Here's the problem, though. In years past, Christian Little might have another outing or 2 and be able to stay in the mix just because the staff wasn't as deep as it is now. But it's getting to the point where, Christian Little's got to show up in a big moment and get the job done, or it's going to be next guy up because, that pitching staff down there, he's bringing some kids out of there every night, like the Herring guy.
Yeah.
He's a freshman lefty that throws the ball 95 miles an hour. And he's nasty, Will Herring. There's some dudes down there that we don't really know about yet. And these front end guys, the guys that maybe earned it or caught the eye of Wes or Jay Johnson, over the fall, they're going to get their opportunities. But man, with such depth, you got to think Christian Little's feeling some pressure at this point.
Dougie, last one, I'll get you out of here. What do you expect from this atmosphere on Thursday night when Tennessee pulls into town?
I can't wait. I think it's going to be very reminiscent of the old, the big matchups that have come here. But in the last, 6, 8, 10 years, like it's been few and far between where LSU's been the number 1 ranked team in the country. And you've got a number 2 or number 3 or number 4 coming in. And I can think of obviously many when I played when Tim Hudson and Auburn ranked number 2 came in and Brad Wilkerson in Florida ranked number 2 came in and Auburn came in again. They're back, in those days, it used to be electric and rocking and like you could feel the energy of 30 minutes before the game. You could feel the crowd. The crowd was much more excited. I expect the parking lots to be full. I hope to drive up and see the barbecue pits everywhere and the LSU flags everywhere. It's just so reminiscent, Jordy. And I know you're one of those guys that saw the vibe back in the days in the late 90s and mid 90s and even early 2000s. It was just so much fun. And this team is creating that type of energy. And they've got some swagger, man. They're very gorilla ballish. They have some bigger than life characters out there. And every time I write that lineup down, I think to myself, man, this looks a lot like a national championship lineup.
Doug Thompson, LSU Sports Radio Network, weekly here with us, breaking down the Tigers. He does it great. We appreciate it as always, Doug. Have a great Monday and a great week. We'll talk to you soon.
You got it, bro. Talk to you soon.
All right, man. There he is, Doug Thompson, former All-American, checking in with us here and a part of the LSU Sports Radio Network. We will talk to LSU former defensive line coach Jamar Cain coming up here in a couple of minutes as Coach Cain took the job, as we said, in hour number 1 with the Denver Broncos and Sean Payton as he was hired as a defensive line coach with the Broncos and will be moving on today. We will get him in some of that transition. We mentioned some of the names that have been brought up around this job, and Bo Davis is a name that Brian Kelly immediately reached out to once he had gotten the job at LSU because of Davis's name and his familiarity, of course, with the SEC and with LSU. He played at LSU in the early 90s. Then he began his graduate assistant coaching career at LSU from 95 to 97. Nick Saban brought him back in 2002, where he stayed through 2005. Saban brought him with him to the Dolphins. He brought him with him to Alabama. He was the Tide's defensive line coach from 2007 to 2010, and again from 14 to 15. He did have to resign because of some recruiting violations that he admitted to back in that time period. And now he is the Texas Longhorns defensive line coach. He is, as we said, somebody that is extremely familiar with the program, his name synonymous with LSU. He's also a masterful recruiter within the sport. He was trained under the best in Nick Saban and knows what it takes and understands the state as well as anyone. I would probably say that he would be the top target on the board as far as somebody that you would hope that you would be able to get, and somebody that you really can probably close a conversation with after meeting. Todd Bates is another name that has come up, and he's over at Oklahoma. He's an Alabama native. He actually played at the University of Alabama. He's been at Oklahoma for just a year, and he was at Clemson before that. We know what Clemson's defensive line has looked like, and obviously Brent Venables is a defensive specialist. So maybe another name to watch out for. And then Jimmy Brumbaugh, who is the Coastal Carolina coach. He played at Auburn. He began coaching back in 2004. He was at LSU as an assistant strength and conditioning coach in 06 and 07. He was a part of that 07 national championship squad. He has been at Coastal Carolina this past season. He's got SEC experience as Tennessee's co-defensive coordinator and defensive line coach back in 2020. He was with Matt House in Kentucky in 13 through 16. So there's a lot of crossover here and some familiar names with people to maybe be out on the lookout for. This is a very good job, obviously. I think that you look at this gig and not only, and look, that's a very obvious statement, but the reason why it's a good job and that it's better than most, everybody would, run through walls to coach a defensive line in the SEC. Probably first because of, the price tag on it. There's a huge pay on it. But if you come to a school like LSU, you can use that platform and that position to really showcase yourself as, a potential coach that could get hired on by an NFL team like the Denver Broncos. I mean, this is kind of how this works, right? If you coach at one of these big-time schools that are pumping out pros and that are continuously developing and recruiting guys to this level, people are going to take notice to that. And that, I think Jamar Cain he's had people on his heels from the NFL the last couple of seasons. And, I think that if you're a college coach and you don't ever really cut that conversation off, like, hey, look, I'm just a college coach, then the NFL at some point, the curiosity is just going to get you. It happens to really all of these guys, right? Where at some point, the curiosity of the NFL and wondering whether or not their program could translate to that level is something that, the game has continuously seen, right? I mean, we've seen some of the college greats like Pete Carroll succeed, and we've seen some of the college greats utterly fail like Urban Meyer and Nick Saban. So, I mean, there's no perfect science for this. Jimmy Johnson is a great example of a college coach that went to the NFL and had tremendous success, right? I mean, we just saw it gobble up and spit out Cliff Kingsbury. Where, I mean, it's tough to really, kind of realize or understand what makes one good with both. Saban really he can just exist in college. He can't exist in the league because, he likes to yell and bark and scream. And I think it was a famous line where, like, Jason Taylor was like, hey, man, you're not going to talk to me like that. You know what I mean? Like, we can go in this real quick. We can just go run upstairs, and I can promise you that the guy's going to side with me. I'm making a lot more money than you are. So don't call me names and don't yell at me and don't, try to get in my face. I mean, it's just
midget.
It ain't going to work like that around here, man.
I'll step on you.
And that's a lot of what Saban's deal was. I mean, he may not be like that now in a transfer portal world, but I mean, the bulk of his career was built off of intimidation. Where, I mean, he would scare the life out of you.
Sit you in that sliding door room.
Yeah. Or hit that door behind you. One thing's for certain, I think that we do trust Brian Kelly, or at least I do, in making these choices, right? Where he understands the severity of these positions. These 10 on-field coaches are gold in football. Like, you've got to hit on these, right? I mean, because the margin for error at the top in the league and in the the depth that LSU is swimming in, there's just you you can't miss on a hire like defensive line coach, where, you know, I mean, everybody's pretty much got the same resources. Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Texas, you know, Arkansas, Ole Miss, you know, all these schools that, you know, nearly have the same budget, you know, outside of their facilities. You know, I mean, you're just kind of selling the town. The facilities are, you know, really kind of all in the same. I mean, some things are slightly different, but for the most part, I mean, all these schools that are spending, you know, millions and millions and millions of dollars on facilities, I mean, they're all awesome.
Well, yeah, they have to be.
Right.
You know, every one of them's going to be.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, the margin of error is,
Yeah.
I mean, you're really, you know, it's a lot of apples to apples.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
you're not making a wrong choice, probably. Brian Kelly's not making a wrong choice.
What by?
And who he's bringing on.
well, no, you could.
Yeah, you could.
I
But,
mean,
like, he knows.
there's no guarantee to this.
No, I
He
guess it's
could
not
bring
a
Edo back.
guarantee.
There's no.
He would not.
There's no exact science to this, Mike.
There's one man out there that'll take this job any day of the week.
You think he would take it?
I recruited all these kids. He recruited everybody on the D line.
I mean,
That would be wild.
My guys, come on, coach, put me in there.
I don't know if Odo loves it anymore. Like that.
God.
You know what I mean? Like, to give somebody like that another opportunity,
Jesus.
you got to know, you got to trust him. You know, like, I mean, and yeah, right, right. I mean, I know we're not talking seriously about that, but even like get another opportunity. I don't even know if he would get another chance to like
coach
the defensive line at Miami.
Really? You don't think so?
No, they would have offered it a long time ago.
There's too much on the line, and if he's got that money in the bank and the life that he's living,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If I'm seeing him down at Costa Rica, you know, I'm seeing him in, you know, where was he? At Cabo on spring break?
Yeah.
Trying to fight a spring break kid for like saying something to him.
For recording them.
I mean, like,
you got me on camera, on that camera phone,
with
boy.
his shirt off about a bunch of 20-year-olds. You're like, I mean, come on, man. We're not hiring this guy. You know, I mean, we got too much liability
He's
around
got to
this place.
love it. He would have to prove that he really loves it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I don't think BR is the right place for him.
No way.
No, I think we know that.
Trouble in paradise. I talked to his daddy. I want to talk to his mom. Come over here.
You've already met the mom.
Met her twice already.
You scared
Ed.
her off, bro.
God.
She's changed her phone number because of you.
Poor guy.
Barry McConaughey. How does Stewie say the word midget with Jordy sitting across from him?
Oh,
Very confidently.
Barry.
Yeah, it sounds like you're really short, Barry.
Dang, Barry.
Bear. Sounds like you're a midget between the legs, Bear.
Sounds like you have a third leg problem.
Little Triz, you got your little stumpy.
Oh my God.
All right, we're going to talk to Jamar Cain coming up here. But his replacement that's a big one, man. That's a big hire.
Did you mention Mike Elston? Did you mention him?
I did not.
He was with Brian Kelly at Notre Dame, and I think he tried to bring him last year. I was reading, so he was like kind of at the top of the list for somebody that would come with him.
He's at Notre Dame.
I think he's still at Notre Dame. Somebody
Bo
can
Davis is
probably
the guy.
correct me, but
Yeah, I was about to say I'd go Bo Davis on this one.
Bo Davis.
okay, Bo Davis looks like Jamar Cain. Do y'all?
You think?
He has the completely bald head,
Yeah, but
shiny bald
Bo-
head, and
Bo's
beard.
a lot.
Well, I just mean head and beard. Like, you know, you got that look. Completely shaved head, and then you got the big beard.
Yeah.
D-line coaches are kind of like same type of person.
Yeah.
Just yelling.
Shaved head and big beard.
A lot of yelling. A lot of smack your
A lot
ass.
of intensity.
Yeah.
A lot of running.
Like
That's why it's tough to take the defensive line coach and make him the head coach.
Yeah.
Because the defensive line coach to a lot of people is usually the coolest guy on staff.
Yeah. Well, Jamar
know?
seems like
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
Total coolest
when
guy.
he was the defensive line coach.
Was he the coolest guy on
Yes,
staff? Are you
doubt about
serious?
it.
They
He
loved
was-
him.
He was the most loved because,
Well, yeah, I guess you.
you know, how
yeah.
could you not love that personality? But then when you become the head coach, now you got to be the bad cop.
Yeah.
You know what I
man.
mean? Now you got to, because you're usually the place where they go when the
Yeah.
bad cop shows up. You know, like you come tell them, like, that guy's a douche.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's always around here trying to discipline us and
Yeah.
do this stuff. And you're like, oh, man, don't worry about that guy. Just make sure you take care of your business. You'll be good. You know,
Oh,
like,
man. How could you ever feel that way about Jamar Cain, though?
I mean,
No. I'm not saying. I'm saying that they were confiding
Right.
in Cain,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
about what else was going on. But Kane's not the head coach. He's the defensive line coach. They took O in that position.
Yeah.
And made him the head coach. Where
and think about how many NFL players vouch for O. Like current NFL players that were at LSU when he was like up for the job.
Yeah.
Jamal Adams, Trey White, like names.
Fournette.
Everybody wanted him to be head coach.
Yeah.
Well, you know why?
Yeah.
They let him do whatever the hell they wanted.
Oh, Leonard, you could throw your dice game here.
Right, absolutely. You wear jeans on the plane.
Mike Elston is at Michigan right now, Frank McCatry says. But he was at Notre Dame with BK.
We'll see.
He's on the list.
He's got a little bit of time here, actually. When's he gonna? He could probably get through spring if he wanted to.
Really?
I doubt he will. But you're where's the recruiting period?
That seems
right now?
scary
It's dead
to me.
right now.
No, it's not. We're kind of in the middle of it.
Really?
Yeah. Because they had visitors on campus Saturday. Like, they had recruits at practice Saturday. So, I would think.
The urgency might be there then.
I feel like it would be urgent, but that's just me. Not like I know, but
Who I really feel for is, like, Mason Smith.
Yeah, me too.
Like, he only got 1 year with Jamar King,
that was the
got
first
hurt.
person I thought of.
And now it's just like.
oh, no.
Mason Smith. But if you go get one of these high-end guys, there's got to be a transition period where they lock in. I mean, these types of guys have got to get their high-end players with them on the same page immediately. And not that you consult these guys like Mason Smith. You just make sure that they know this is going to be the guy and that they're getting to work. I mean, you saw Jacoby and Guillory on Saturday. He was emotional when he found out the news that Jamar Cain was moving on. So these are relationships that are, really, really tight. We will talk to Jamar Cain next here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Ask him about this choice. What's next? What he thinks about this defensive line room and what he expects from this group coming up this season as he'll be watching from a NFL locker room now. We'll talk to Coach Cain next here on the Jordy Culotta Show, brought to you daily by City Cafe. Remember our friends over at City Cafe, citycafebr.net. Daily lunch specials from Squeaky and the crew over there. Go see Cody Miranda, Dirk, Squeaky, the entire City Cafe team. citycafebr.net is where you can find them as City Cafe brings you our show daily. We'll talk to Jamar Cain, former LSU defensive line coach, next here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Donaldsonville Glass and Body, the trusted name in frame, body, and automotive paint repair since 1977. They have served their customers for over 45 years. You can find them online at dgbauto.com or stop in and see them Railroad Avenue and Division Street out in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Look, they can help you with your insurance claims. They can make the repair process as stress-free as possible. I'm speaking from experience here. I've got numerous windshields, body repair, all done by Kenny and the crew over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. They are, without question, the most well-equipped shop in the area. Stop in and see them today. Shop them online, dgbauto.com, or stop in and see the crew over in Division Street in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Hey fellas, it's Jordy Culotta for my friends over at Men's Total Health. Guys, do you suffer from fatigue, decreased libido, erectile dysfunction, weight gain or loss of muscle mass, signs of depression, anxiety, hair loss, mental fog, general loss of interest? Then you might be suffering from low testosterone. Go see my friend Mike Roach and his great team over at Men's Total Health over in Metairie at menstotalhealth.net online. And stop in and see how they can change your life today. A simple shot and some knowledge from Mike Roach can get you back up, moving with your energy, get your sex drive back, build your muscle mass, make you feel young again. All online, menstotalhealth.net.
Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon and get it done. Corrects done. Personal injury done. Workers' comp done. Truck wrecks done. Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon and get it done.
Welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, going back and forth with Coach Kane. We're going to have to move that interview to tomorrow morning at 7:30. Coach Kane is finishing up some stuff of getting out of town here at LSU. He is in there for a while and will be catching a plane immediately, and said that we will link up with him at 7:30 tomorrow morning, which will be 6:30 Denver time, and we will have that interview for you. So I apologize for having to move that with Coach Kane here this morning, but he'll be with us tomorrow. And Doug Thompson was here talking LSU baseball, so we appreciate Dougie for stopping by. If you want to catch that recap, you can, as LSU took 2 of 3 over the weekend from Arkansas, and obviously we'll have a huge game this weekend set with Tennessee coming in town. That'll be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They're in prime time, the first 2 games. 7 o'clock Thursday night, 6 o'clock Friday night, and then there'll be 1 o'clock on Saturday to roll out the 3 games. They will take on Grambling in the midweek. That'll be tomorrow night at the Box. That'll be a 6:30 first pitch for the Tigers, who were able to really take care of business this weekend and move their overall record to 21-3 overall. They are 4-2 in conference play after A&M took game 3 and Arkansas takes game 1, but the Tigers able to take both of the other games from both the Aggies and the Hogs over the weekend. So LSU right now overall at 21-3 on the season, as they are 16-1 at home, which will be a big week test at home coming up with Tennessee in town coming up Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I know that Tennessee has struggled at times throughout the season. I know that they've shown that they can be vulnerable. I expect Tennessee's most fiercest punch this weekend. You know, Tennessee has a ton of respect and a lot of top-line pitching. I imagine that LSU will see their best punch come from the Volunteers on Saturday.
They're 3-3 in conference play.
So they swept this weekend.
I guess so. Yeah.
They must have, because they got swept by Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Who did they play? They played
A&M.
They played. Oh wow, A&M. Jeez.
Yeah, tough start.
It's a tough start.
That's better than being 0-6.
Yeah, Katie.
Could be tougher.
Katie, what's going on in Mississippi?
Don't know.
Yeah, what is going on in Starkville?
No idea.
Not only in Starkville,
Oxford,
but Oxford.
Jeez.
Some deal has been made with the devil by the Mississippians, which you know has got to be a bad deal with the devil, boy. If you let us reel off these 2 natties, we will do
whatever.
Clearly.
We'll lose.
I don't know.
We'll lose every SEC game.
I don't want to know.
We'll just start
It's
you
a
off
bad
by
look.
losing all of conference games.
It's a really bad look.
Might not even make the tournament. Like the
And I don't mean to
conference
pile on here, Katie, but it's a
It's
worse
okay.
look for
I feel like
you.
you say that a lot.
It is a worse look for you than it is for those little fratty flux in Oxford.
Yeah.
Why is it a worse look for me, though?
Because y'all are 2 years removed from
Yeah.
the Natty. And this
But we're just a bunch of
recruiting
freshmen.
class- yeah, but the recruiting class post-Natty
Yeah.
should be developed
Should
and
be.
put on the field right now.
Should be.
You know what I mean?
But you
is
know
tough.
what gives me peace, though, about this? Is that Ole Miss sucks, too. So it would be one thing if we sucked and then Ole Miss was,
Well-
headed for another natty or
Ole
whatever.
Miss isn't losing 26-4 though, Katie. They're losing like
I
close
understand
ones.
that, but they're not good. And they started off
I
number
thought
3.
Lamonis was good.
I thought so, too. I think he is. I think
Is this the coach?
I mean, people are calling for him,
He
of
might have been.
course.
He might have duped y'all.
Maybe so. Maybe so. I mean, I guess it'll come out this season. We're gonna see. Because I mean, you can't.
It's a great gig.
It is a great gig, and you
Mississippi State
can't.
baseball is a great gig, man. I mean, there's no
Yeah,
way
you can't lose like
at
this.
any point. I mean, it's got a little LSU to it.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like it's tough to lose.
Yeah.
You know, like
You
it's-
can't lose like that. You cannot.
It can't be this.
Not there.
It can't be this bad.
26-4.
You
That's
could beat.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
lose,
But not
I
like
mean,
this.
You got to be competitive.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
And we always are. That's the thing.
that's the
I mean,
thing.
it's a baseball
Right,
school.
Like you can just roll out a ball and you
Yeah.
usually have a team.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like 2 years after a natty and to roll this out, like what the
It's
hell's
scary.
going on?
I know. Something Mississippi's done, y'all.
Yeah, something-
Something up in the
This
water
feels
in
very
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
It really
It
does.
does.
It
This
really
is-
does.
call Favre.
I mean,
right.
I
Where's
mean,
Favre at?
Brett, we need
Where's
you.
Brett?
Something's going on in
Brett
Mississippi.
stole all the winnings from both national championship teams.
It's wild.
I'll
right?
pay for the parades though.
And I think Southern Miss is still doing pretty well, right?
Yeah, I think so. They might be like
So
top in the
that's-
Sun Belt.
Not host super type well though. Are they?
Let's
I don't
let's
know.
see what they're
They-
doing in the Fun Belt.
They've been pretty good, yeah. So something's up. I
Southern
don't know what to say.
Mississippi.
I don't know what to say, y'all. Mississippi got pummeled. I know that with tornadoes, which was
They
really,
did.
really bad.
I mean,
Really
like-
bad stuff. In Rolling Fork. I mean, I saw some
Does
videos.
that even exist anymore?
I don't know.
I mean,
Not
that
much of it.
town was rubble.
Flattened.
It was pummeled.
I saw a video of a camera that was set up inside a school that just showed a tornado like hitting it. I mean, it's the scariest thing to watch that. I mean, it's so eerie. So, I mean,
Have you ever experienced a tornado?
well, yeah, I'm from Mississippi.
But like, I mean, like something like that.
Yeah, I've gotten into closets and bathtubs before. I mean, when I was in Starkville, I was shopping in a store in downtown Starkville, and all of a sudden my ears popped. I was kind of standing next to the front of me because we're used to tornadoes, and they're like, "Get down in the basement," because we have basements there, and we all got down in the basement. We came back up. My car had a telephone pole laying on top of it. Like the street downtown Starkville, just stuff everywhere. The chimney, I lived in the sorority house at the time. The chimney was like off the house and like on another house. Like it was nuts. And we were just sitting there having a day shopping. It hits like that, and you come back up and like everything's destroyed. I mean, it takes nothing for it to happen. It's wild.
It is wild.
It really is. It's so scary.
I mean,
And it's always in place. I mean, not always, but when it is in places like that, like Rolling Fork, such a small, poor Mississippi town, you know, and you're like,
They can't
these
even
people,
really rebuild. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
I
it
mean-
came like in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
too, didn't it?
I mean,
What
how do
a
you rebuild from
nightmare,
that? You know, especially if you're in a trailer, and then you know, what do? And you just watch these people get up the next morning and just start searching for personal belongings.
I mean, somehow Louisiana
We don't have
skipped out on the natural
tornadoes.
disaster of like tornadoes.
Yeah, but we got hurricanes.
Exactly. No, I mean, I know we got our problems.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, but a tornado
I know. It just pops up out of nowhere.
looks. Is that the worst natural disaster?
I don't know.
I'd go tsunami, or like
yeah.
Sure.
maybe like a landslide, something like that.
I don't know, man. You watch some of that like forest fire or those fires out
Yeah.
in California.
Yeah, that's tough too.
But like
I
you
mean-
know that's coming at least, I guess, kind
Do
of, so
you?
you can
I
kind of
mean,
prepare. Well,
right.
more than like a tornado that just strikes up out of
Yeah.
nowhere, and you're like, do I run? Like,
Yeah.
you know, do you try to outrun it? Which way do you go?
I was actually in California a couple years ago when they were having like forest fires. And it is bad, but like they know because it doesn't rain. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't rain for 3 months straight and everything's just dry.
Mm-hmm.
So any little thing will start a forest fire.
Yeah, Mother Nature gets mad.
Well, didn't one forest fire out there get started by like somebody was making a birth announcement?
Oh yes, a freaking gender reveal.
A gender reveal.
Jeez.
They piped like a pink flare.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And it shot out into the.
I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny.
It's not funny, but it's
It is.
like a movie.
Just imagine like shooting a flare.
Like, oh shit.
Is that
Somebody
not
call the
enough
fire
to tell you
department.
to quit doing gender reveals. Like, just stop. Nobody cares.
Like,
Nobody cares about your gender.
we had a gender reveal for my kid, and I was like, all right, cool. Like,
y'all
I
did?
had no idea.
I knew the gender before.
Were you on social media?
Yeah, but I didn't put it
you
on
put the
social
reveal
media.
up?
No,
This is amazing.
No.
I don't look at you and think of you as a gender
Ever.
reveal party kind
Ever.
of guy.
Was it? It wasn't my idea. Trust me.
It never is.
And I knew the gender already, so I was like, "Why are we doing a gender reveal if we already know what the gender is?" Like
For social media stuff.
Like I
Well,
could
yeah.
care less what these people think about it.
So they can come bring you an extra gift.
Yeah, well,
Celebrate
those
you a little
diapers were
harder.
very nice.
Yeah.
He doesn't even wear diapers anymore.
Right. And you can start a forest fire.
Yeah, could have started a forest fire. No flares involved though.
Yeah, Jeff said that tornado stayed on the ground for 100 miles, the rolling fork one. I didn't realize that. That is, I mean, and there's just nothing you can do about that.
How long did it stay on the ground? If
I
it stayed
don't-
on the ground for 100 miles,
I know. Can you imagine?
At
I don't
least
know.
Traveling it. I mean, what's the fastest they can travel?
I don't know. But that's a long way. I mean
100 miles.
like what was the? Don't they have like a scale for tornadoes?
I
Like
think so.
F1, I think it's like F1 through F5. It's like the scale, and F5 is
the worst.
Is the worst.
Yeah. I mean, it's the sound of a tornado
can't
to
even
me
imagine.
is really
gotta
terrifying.
sound like
if you've
like a
ever
train.
heard, it does. It does sound like that.
I mean, it's got to.
Mm-hmm. And the pressure that happens like in your head with it. Those are the two weirdest things to me about tornadoes. Super scary.
The scariest I've ever been in my life in a car was on the way to Shreveport, and we drove through what felt like a tornado, but like not a severe one, but it was hailing.
Mm-hmm.
The rain was like coming down sideways. The sound,
Yeah.
and it came out of nowhere. When I'm telling you, like the day was blue skies,
Mm-hmm.
bright sunshine. And I mean, like, I was driving to Brandon Harris's spring game.
oh God.
That's where I was going. I had torn my Achilles playing pickup basketball, and I had just gotten my cast off that day. I went and saw Dr. Bankston that morning, and it was like summertime. It was like kind of becoming summertime,
Yeah.
like early summer, late spring. And I was like, you got to get this thing off of me.
Yeah,
man.
like,
I mean, this thing is like sweating. I mean, it was disgusting. And he was like, you probably need about another week, maybe two. But if you stay kind of, really kind of off of it and keep it elevated, you should be good. So I was like, whatever, get me out of this thing.
Yeah.
I'm good. You know what I mean? So he gave me like this walking boot to put on and to drive in the car. I kind of took it off and I had it like in the passenger seat because I had like a 4-hour drive to Shreveport. And I mean, I am rolling to Shreveport. I am windows down, coach, relief bedding. I mean, on company time.
I feel good.
I mean,
this is great.
we're like going up to Gordy Rush sent me up to go see cover the spring game for Brandon Harris. I was going to do a radio show from the press box because Brandon Harris was about to get offered by LSU. Like Steve Ensminger was going to be at the game. Les was going to be there. Oklahoma, Alabama, Texas were all going to be there. So we were all going to see this, and he was going to pledge to LSU. And like right in between Natchitoches and Shreveport, in that stretch,
Terrible stretch
it
too.
turned like as dark as night at like 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm telling you, in the snap of a finger. Like I'll never forget. I was riding next to a tow truck, and like we were on the interstate, and the tow truck, he was kind of driving like he was kind of like hugging the wheel. He was like driving like he was like looking, you know what I mean? And I kind of like looked at him, and I was like, what are we driving into? You know what I mean? Because it was like a wall of black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like a wall of just like.
And you just keep going.
Dark. Yeah. I was like, going from like 90 to like 40.
Uh-huh.
You're like kind of like creeping up on this thing. And then like before you know it, like you're in it.
Yeah.
You're in it. Like you're in. I'm like, what? You're like rolling the windows up. Like, I mean, like.
That's going to
And
help.
I pull over, dude, and like the car is like, I mean, like shake. And then it starts getting pelted with hail. I'm telling you, like,
consider getting out and going into a ditch?
Yes.
Yeah.
And at that point, I turned and I'm in the driver's seat, and I'm like out loud saying, like, "Am I about to die? Am I about to die?"
There with you?
Yeah, nobody's with
Just
me.
your walking
Nobody's
passenger
with me.
seat.
Nobody's with me. It's me
in
and
the
a
car
walking
by
dude.
himself.
And a radio kit.
It's like you're Wilson.
Like a radio kit in the back.
Wilson!
And I pull over to the side of the road. I'm like, am I about to die here on the side of the interstate?
Oh my God.
So I like, for whatever reason, I don't know why I did this. I get up and like jump into the back seat to like lay down. I don't know why. And I like jump off of my Achilles, dude. And I mean, I remember like laying in the back thinking like, oh my God, dude, they're going to find me dead on the side of the road. And the first thing Dr. Banks is going to say is that bastard retore his Achilles.
He wouldn't stay off of it.
Because I mean, like I had this pain, this burning pain that went, I mean, I was like, I knew I'd torn it again, but it was like a minute and a half. It felt like 30 minutes. It sounded like somebody had an AK-47 and was standing on top of the car.
Oh my God.
And just, I mean, I was like, dude, when I got up, they totaled my car.
I bet.
They totaled it.
Yeah.
When I pulled up to the hotel in Shreveport, the valet dudes, they were so funny, dude.
And was it like sunny again?
I had my windshield spider webbed. It cracked. That's when I was like, am I going to die?
Yeah.
Because like the water started like leaking into the, I was like, holy shit.
Oh, this
bro.
is bad.
This is bad. Like I'm about to die. And when I had to drive like Ace Ventura.
Out the window?
Like from Natchitoches to like Shreveport. I mean, I'm like going down the interstate with a ripped Achilles, dude.
Oh my God.
I pull up into the hotel at this spot, and the two valet dudes are like, God damn! Like, what happened to the car, man?
They somebody shoot
at this point, like, I have not seen my car. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, you
I'm
just
like
driving it.
You know what I mean? All I know is I got a busted up windshield. That's all I can see. And like,
you get out limping?
Dude, I get out, and there is like golf ball dents in my entire car.
Damn.
I took it to Custom Colors. Shout out to Billy Rapp. And when I pulled up to Custom Colors, Billy Rapp said that he had been in the business for like 35 years at the time. And you know this part of your car, the window kind of like frame, is supposedly like the toughest part of your car.
Yeah.
He compares like it's like this part of your elbow. He was like, you can hit it, you can bite it, you can. He's like, you do this all day. And I was like, all right, Billy, all right. Yeah.
We understand.
All right, I got it.
It did not dent that.
Oh, Katie, it had as if like somebody took like a hammer and was like hitting it like, and it had. He was like, you see this right here? He was like, Jordy, I've never seen that. He
No
was like,
wonder you thought you were dead.
He was like, I've never seen that. He was like, what happened, man? He was like, was it coming in sideways? You know, was it like, I was like, Billy, I got no fucking
It was coming every type of way.
I got no clue. I was like, all I know is that the sound of it sounded as if like I was like somebody was just shooting golf balls out of a gun at me.
Oof.
Like, I mean, it was like, I mean, it was the loudest, most freakiest, and the car was like,
I bet.
you know, like the car was like that's what I'm like. Is this the end? Like, am I going to die right here? I mean, I called Gordy laying in the back seat, and he was like, and I was like, Gordy, no shit, bro, I'm about to die. And he was like, shut the fuck, what do you mean? I was like, no, turn on the radar, dude. I'm somewhere in North Louisiana. And I hear him, he's like, in like the radio kind of like call, you know, like control center. He's like, Culotta says he's in trouble in North Louisiana. Pull up the radar, and somebody pulls up the radar, and they're like, holy shit!
You're gonna die, buddy.
They're like, whoa, bro, you are in trouble, man. Let us know. Well, I'm like, whoa. I'm like, dude, my car is totaled. Like, Billy Rapp was like, bro, your car is. I had to go in Shreveport to get back home. I had to put a new windshield on my car to drive home.
How'd you get home?
And when I pulled up in the garage, I mean, like, they were like coming out inside, like taking pictures of my car.
He looked like he came from a
So
GTA
scary.
mission.
it was they were like, I had no idea.
How terrifying.
It was terrifying, bro. It was terrifying.
What'd you do about your leg?
I had to go see Dr. Banks, and I limped in there. He was like, "Get the hell out of here!" I was like, "Doc, I was in a tornado."
He's like, yeah.
He's like, these excuses.
Yeah, right.
You really didn't want to wear that
I'm
boot.
just telling you.
It's like,
If I
did
gotta
you
do
try to play
surgery on
pickup
this thing
basketball?
again, you will not walk the same in your life. I'm like, I got you, man.
Yeah,
Somehow
dog.
you didn't pull it. I was like, thank
Jeez.
God. Thank God. All right, have a great day. Hit that like button, share button, comment button. We appreciate you starting your week here with us. Remember, Daily, we're built by RMB Builders. Check them out over there. Welcome aboard our new sponsor. We appreciate Premier South Roofing. Remember, they are reminding you if your roof is 8 years old or older, you qualify for a free inspection. All you got to do is mention the Culotta Show, and you will get that free inspection, and odds are you will end up with a new roof. Remember, that $500 repair turns into a $5,000 job pretty quickly with the roof. So make sure you get Premier South Roofing over there and check it out. If you are in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, North Shore, Daphne, Alabama, you can use the services of our friends over at Premier South. Get online, premiersouthlA.com. PremiersouthlA.com is the website where you can get in touch with everybody over there at all access points, all contacts. And we appreciate them being aboard here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Have a great start to your week. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.